Happiness is a butterfly, which when pursued, is always just beyond your grasp, but which, if you will sit down quietly, may alight upon you. No man for any considerable period can wear one face to himself and another to the multitude, without finally getting bewildered as to which may be the true. Words, so innocent and powerless as they are, as standing in a dictionary, how potent for good and evil they become in the hands of one who knows how to combine them. Every individual has a place to fill in the world and is important in some respect whether he chooses to be so or not. There is evil in every human heart, which may remain latent, perhaps, through the whole of life, but circumstances may rouse it to activity. Just as there comes a warm sunbeam into every cottage window, so comes a love beam of God's care and pity for every separate need. Nobody, I think, ought to read poetry, or look at pictures or statues, who cannot find a great deal more in them than the poet or artist has actually expressed. Their highest merit is suggestiveness. Our Creator would never have made such lovely days, and have given us the deep hearts to enjoy them, above and beyond all thought, unless we were meant to be immortal. Caresses, expressions of one sort or another, are necessary to the life of the affections as leaves are to the life of a tree. If they are wholly restrained, love will die at the roots. The washing of dishes does seem to me the most absurd and unsatisfactory business that I ever undertook. If, when once washed, they would remain clean forever and ever, which they ought in all reason to do, considering how much trouble it is, there would be less occasion to grumble, but no sooner is it done, than it requires to be done again. On the whole, I have come to the resolution not to use more than one dish at each meal. Happiness in this world, when it comes, comes incidentally. Make it the object of pursuit, and it leads us a wild goose chase, and is never attained. Follow some other object, and very possibly we may find that we have caught happiness without dreaming of it. Eager souls, mystics and revolutionaries, may propose to refashion the world in accordance with their dreams, but evil remains, and so long as it lurks in the secret places of the heart, utopia is only the shadow of a dream. If mankind were all intellect, they would be continually changing, so that one age would be entirely unlike another. The great conservative is the heart, which remains the same in all ages, so that commonplaces of 1,000 years standing are as effective as ever. Christian faith is a grand cathedral, with divinely pictured windows. Standing without, you see no glory, nor can possibly imagine any. Standing within, every ray of light reveals a harmony of unspeakable splendors. Some attribute had departed from her, the permanence of which had been essential to keep her a woman. Such is frequently the fate, and such the stern development, of the feminine character and person, when the woman has encountered, and lived through, an experience of peculiar severity. If she be all tenderness, she will die. If she survive, the tenderness will either be crushed out of her, or, and the outward semblance is the same, crushed so deeply into her heart that it can never show itself more. I used to visit and revisit it a dozen times a day, and stand in deep contemplation over my vegetable progeny with a love that nobody could share or conceive of who had never taken part in the process of creation. It was one of the most bewitching sights in the world to observe a hill of beans thrusting aside the soil, or a rows of early peas just peeping forth sufficiently to trace a line of delicate green. It is a curious subject of observation and inquiry, whether hatred and love be not the same thing at bottom. Each, in its utmost development, supposes a high degree of intimacy in heart knowledge, each renders one individual dependent for the food of his affections and spiritual life upon another, each leaves the passionate lover, or the no less passionate hater, forlorn and desolate by the withdrawal of his object. There is so much wretchedness in the world, that we may safely take the word of any mortal professing to need our assistance, and, even should we be deceived, still the good to ourselves resulting from a kind act is worth more than the trifle by which we purchase it.